And I'm here to review the film Donnie Brasco, which was released in 1997 and was directed by Mike Newell. He stars Johnny Depp, who, for a nice change, has not got any makeup on this time. No prosthetics, no Tim Burton, no Helena Bonham Carter, just Johnny. He's got a moustache. But they make him shave that off. And it also features Al Pacino. Hoo-ha, bada bing! So the film is about an FBI agent played by Johnny Depp, no Tim Burton, no Helena Bonham Carter, who is, his job is to uncover a mafia ring, and he befriends and is befriended by Lefty, played by Al Pacino. And one of the things that springs to mind to me after seeing this film is the television series Sopranos, in which we sort of saw in a lot more detail the life of a gangster. And we saw a lot of that sort of lovable rogue comedy gangster that is sort of inherent within Al Pacino's character in Donnie Brasco. I remember Silvio, played by Steve Van Sant, in the Bada Bing in Tony Soprano's crew. He was very much sort of a lovable sort of comedy gangster, and then he'd be capable of doing sort of these horrible acts of violence, you know, so all of a sudden you'd be pulled out of feeling that sympathy and that love for him, and all of a sudden you'd realise, you know, it played with you morally. You would realise, you know, I liked this guy until this moment. And as a viewer, you kind of split down the middle, because you're thinking, well, you know, you've got some sympathy for Lefty. You know, his character is quite warm at times, and you feel warmth towards him in the way that he's sort of schooling Johnny Depp on the ways of being a wise guy. And that's one of the things that works about the film really well, because you're thinking to yourself, you know, well, you know, this guy's gone out of his way for Johnny here, and he's letting him down a bit. This is a film with a lot of tension. There's tension between Johnny Depp and his wife Anne Hesh. There's tension because it's a mafia film, and there's always tension in mafia films. And then there's the tension between Johnny Depp and Al Pacino's characters, which plays very nicely, sort of gradually simmers. You know what's coming. There's even a character in the film who is strikingly similar to Joe Pesci, Bruno Kirby, whose diminutive stature reminds one of Joe Pesci. And it's also got Michael Madsen in it. Watch your ears. Yeah, Michael Madsen, who, yeah, he's playing the tough guy. One of my favourite scenes in the film is when Johnny Depp's character explains the meaning of, forget about it. Forget about it. I think that scene's a nice little bit of insight into sort of gangster speak, which we're also familiar with, obviously, from the films that have sort of gone on through the years, like Goodfellas, Godfather, all that stuff. And yeah, it's a film that's full of gangster cliches, you could say, but it's very well handled. You know, it's very well made. It's very confidently put together. It's very well acted. I wouldn't say it's the sort of film that would sort of last long in the memory or make a huge sort of social impact like things like Goodfellas did and Godfather. You know, those films are in the culture. Donnie Brasco's more kind of incidental, really, as a film. It's more of an incidental piece. I think it's an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's fair.